Could you lose all of your XRP? That's what we're going to talk about in this video because there is a lot of talk about it on social media. In the future, will you be able to buy XRP? What does it mean to be priced out? From a USD point of view, what does that look like? I'm going to talk about what it means to be priced out of XRPs, and if that's even possible in this video. Your help is very much appreciated as always. Thanks a lot. Thank you to everyone who liked the movies and signed up for the channel. Your help really does mean a lot to me. It would also be great if you could share a good place to buy XRP. You can find it in the description of this movie. Having said that, I'll also write about it and I hope you all enjoy it. So guys, at the end of the movie, we have some exciting news about when the XRP ETF will launch. Make sure you stay for that. Being priced out of XRP is what I really want to talk about now though. Different people have different ideas about what this even means. Some people believe that being priced out of XRP means you can't buy it. For my part, I don't think that's very likely. I don't think that's likely because someone is always going to be selling XRP. A lot of different people want the price to be $10. It's not my price goal, but a lot of other people do. Because of this, there will be buyers at $10. It's clear that sellers are in charge where we are now. Always be able to get XRP. Are people going to sell at $100? I believe so. Many people who see this movie might think, I could buy that with $100 XRP. I'm going to sell that. What about more? Of course, someone will always be ready to sell some XRP for more. That's why I believe that people will always be willing to sell XRP on the market no matter what price it is. The market works that way. Because of this, I always believe that XRP will be for sale. The market works that way. What do I mean when I say priced out? Now, I think it's interesting to talk about being priced out of XRP from the point of view of the number of units that are available. Available. This really came up because there's been a lot of talk on social media about what it means to be priced out. Some people say, yeah, you can get priced out. Some people say that you can't be priced out, but everyone uses the phrase priced out without saying what it means. As I already said, I don't think it's likely that people will not be able to afford to buy XRP. That's more of a rule-making thing. People would have to be told, hey, you can't buy XRP because of this. And as I already said, I don't think that will happen. How can you be priced out though? At the end of the day, a higher price coin right now gate stops you from doing some things. To stake on the Ethereum chain, you need 10 Ethereum. That would be easy to do when Ethereum was worth $1. At the price of Ethereum right now, that's not easy to do. People could no longer stake Ethereum because of the price. It costs a lot less to use the XRP system. Pretty much 0.5 XRP is set aside as a reserve. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's 2 for some tasks and 0.5 for trust lines, among other things. Now, when I first started to buy XRP, it was very cheap. Now that I have a lot of XRPs and weapons, I can go set up trust lines and reserves all over the place. But if you just started using XRP today, your US dollar will not go as far because XRP is becoming more expensive, making it harder to do many of these things. Because every transaction on the XRP ledger is denominated in XRP, I think that as the price of XRP goes up, people are priced out of using its original features. The unit is everything. In other words, having more units gives you more control over the chain below. The main reason I think you won't be able to buy XRP is how much power you have in this new system that is being built. The XRP ledger system is the name of the new system that is being built. In the US banking system, the more USD you have, the more power you have, and believe that the XRP tracking system will work the same way. You have more power when you have more XRP. In this new financial system, you'll have a lot of economic power, which might not be the same as direct vote power or something like that. Plus, you can get more XRP if you buy it when it's cheaper. Assuming that XRP is almost free, it would be very easy to get into the top 2 percentiles of the XRP rich list. I don't know if this is up to date, but I wanted to share it anyway. On the network, you'd be a whale. Your coins could be used for many things, right? That most likely wouldn't be possible for people with very few tokens, right? You won't be able to control liquidity pools. You could run the markets. All of these things are possible. You would also be able to use a lot of services, and we're not even talking about how moral some of these things are. Who knows? Someone who doesn't have a lot of XRP might not be able to get to it. With a lot of XRP, you might be able to work with guardians that you otherwise wouldn't be able to touch. You might be able to work with skilled traders, such as futures traders and arbitrage traders. People will want to make custom plans for you once they see how many XRP units you have. I think that the amount of XRP you have is basically the new currency that gives you power in this new financial system. Because of this, as XRP goes up in price, it gets much harder to get more XRP and build up more power in this new system. In a world with no minimums and fair treatment for everyone, someone with 1 XRP would be held to the same standards as someone with 100,000 XRP and someone with 100 million XRP. In that case, my whole point would be lost. I don't think that's how this system works, though. In almost every financial system and product, there are minimums that people must meet in order to get better treatment. Those with more of the base asset get priority over those with less. You can say that's not fair, but that's just how things usually are. And if you buy XRP for less USD, right? With the same amount of USD, you will get more XRP than someone who comes in with the same amount of USD. So if I get the same opportunity for the same amount of USD as someone else, but my USD went further to accumulate more XRP, which gave me more opportunities because I had more of the underlying token, then I think that person who comes in later with more expensive XRP is essentially being priced out of these different market activities because they didn't have as much of the underlying token. In this network, their US dollar didn't go as far toward building up that power. Even though we don't know how everything will turn out just yet, I think that becoming a whale or very big holder on one of these networks will give you access to opportunities that people with much less of the underlying token won't have. That's how many of these programs work these days. I can't bet on XDC. The gift isn't enough for me. People who bought the code when it first came out can keep the price they paid for it. My price has gone too high to stake XDC. I can't say anything bad about it. It doesn't matter. I might not think it's fair all the time, but that's how the system works, right? That's how these systems work. That which is local is the most important thing. That's what it's called. Is the amount of power you have in the system. You have more power the more local tokens you have. It's not seen in US dollars for the first time ever, right? It's not how many US dollars you have. It tells you how much of the base token you can give. Plus, the more tokens you have, the more power you'll have, and the more chances you'll have. So I think that the more XRP goes up and the harder it is to buy a single unit, the more likely it is that you'll be priced out of some market activities. I don't think the price of XRP will make it impossible for you to buy it. But I think it does have some things that you might have known about if you had bought more XRP when it was cheaper, and your US dollar gave you a bigger share of the new currency used in these networks. There's a lot more I could have said, but that's all I had time for. I just thought the conversation was interesting. The phrase priced out is used